My name is Jessica Horn and I am the Director of Programs at the African Women's Development Fund. AWDF is a regional women's rights fund. So it was set up by 3 African women who were really concerned that the decisions about money and what was being funded and resourced in terms of women's rights activism in Africa wasn't being done by African women ourselves. I am absolutely a flaming proud African feminist. I was raised that way and I will always be that way. And I'm proud to be an African feminist for many reasons. One of them is that I know that it is part of, African feminism is part of a legacy of African liberation and African movements towards transforming our world so that our world can look more like an image of nourishment and an image of equality and active participation of everybody. And so to me, African feminism is part of Africa's liberation. And it's deeply rooted in the needs and concerns and realities of this continent. And not something outside, which a lot of people often claim and try to sort of push us out. But African feminists are of this soil. And I think it's exciting because it's exciting to be part of a liberation movement. It's a movement for freedom. And so yeah, the F word is very important to me, and I'm so happy that Ake has created this space to really discuss with African feminists and people concerned about women's lives and existence from all over Africa, and to also honor that tremendous presence of African women as writers, storytellers and singers and analysts and narrators of our own realities, our own histories, and also our own destinies. So I participated in the panel, which was a collaboration between Ake and Women of the World WOW on feminism across borders. And we embraced the notion of borders in many ways. So we didn't just look at the concept of national borders, but also borders as boundary places or places where we stop, get checked, have to consider things like liminal spaces. So we spoke about our different experiences in feminist activism, things that have been difficult for us, but also solidarities and ways that we've managed to transcend some of the checks that happen at borders too. As you know, feminist activism has always been something that's about collectivity. It's about people coming together to change things. And a lot of that has been done, again, across borders. From the audience, somebody asked about the Maputo Protocol. So from a national border perspective, that's an example of African feminist mobilization in the legal arena to actually put pressure on African governments to create human rights mechanism, basically, that would actually actively look out for the contemporary concerns of African women, because in there's issues of around women's rights in conflict, HIV, etc. And so to look at how that kind of transnational African solidarity led a very successful campaign to actually have the Maputo Protocol ratified, and then also by African states, and also now the process of domesticating it. So that's from a legal perspective. We spoke about the realities of being in universities now, for example, in South Africa, where universities are actually calling in private security to fire at their students who are protesting about fees. And again, how African feminist professors like Pumla have been active in defending their student right to protest, even against the university establishment that didn't feel that the students had a right, indeed, to freedom of expression and to organizing in the way that they did. So we spoke about many issues. I spoke about the body, which is the work that I do, and in really learning from women who have been through tremendous violation, but also found a way to create healing in the Congos and the Rwandas of this world, and who also teach us actually methodologies for healing and for trauma response and resilience, which are relevant for our context and which are in a way a kind of renewal and an understanding that that violation is not the end of life. It doesn't always have to mean the end of life or end of a woman's life. When it comes to color, there's something that happens to me with color that someone has referred to as color seduction, because colors seduce me. And so I don't have one favorite because there are so many delicious colors in this world. I mean, I have to be honest. There are a few that I tend to gravitate around. Fuchsia is just like lovely. Not pink, fuchsia. Power fuchsia, yeah. Like bougainvillea color, that is just the most delicious color in this world. Deep yellows, greens, and deep oranges. So I'd have to say it's those ones. But okay, well, if you only want one, I'll stick with green. So green will be my favorite color for this moment. Green is verdant. It's the heart. Green is possibility.